أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear friends, welcome to DEA Foundation Forum. Today we will discuss the research topic Ibadaat for Global Coherence. Global Coherence. It was in 1960s when science of the heart first time found that higher personal coherence not only improves personal health and happiness, but it also positively affects other fellow beings of the respective community. Since then, since 1960s, a number of research studies have been conducted in the areas of electrophysiology of intuition and scope of the heart's magnetic field radiated outside the body and its capacity to carry information that affects other people and links them together, mostly in imperceptible ways. With the passage of time, the discussion has expanded from personal coherence to coherence in the context of families, workplaces, and communities. Then it became a global concern as well, which was witnessed in the launching of Global Coherence Initiative. Global Coherence Initiative. It explores, Global Coherence Initiative explores the interconnectivity of humanity with Earth's magnetic field. Now imagine the divine prudence in the words of prayer made by Hazrat Abraham while laying foundation of Kaaba as the house of Allah for his worship and center for the security and well-being of the people more than 2000 BC, before Christ. Abraham prayed to Allah for appointing a messenger, prophet, from the land of Mecca, of his descendants, who could establish a Muslim nation reforming the mankind by imparting to them the wisdom and the verses revealed by Allah. Hazrat Abraham and his successors also instructed their sons for their allegiance to the religion of Islam. This Abrahamic prayer was materialized, actualized with the arrival of Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the last messenger of Allah, and the Quran as the final divine message. Thus, with the completion of the religion of Islam, the apex of the Abrahamic tradition, the humanity was desired to remain jointed under the banner of Islam. Islam provides a code of Ibadaat that brings the humanity together for creating global coherence to fulfill their obligations to Allah and to the mankind. Both obligations to Allah and to the mankind. Today we will discuss the initiatives taken by the heart science recently and much more comprehensive initiatives taken by Islam centuries ago for promoting the global coherence. So, dear friends, as we mentioned earlier, the heart science has now started exploring the interconnectivity of humanity with Earth's magnetic field, geomagnetic field. As part of this endeavor, A global coherence initiative, briefly called GCI, has been launched by Hard Math Institute in 2008, which finds out the interconnectivity of humanity with Earth's magnetic field, geomagnetic field. By 2015, over 160,000 people in 154 countries were participating in this initiative, being regularly updated and informed where to direct their energetic contributions of hard focus, care, and intention. It is global coherence. So, Global Coherence Initiative believes that larger is the number of people creating heart-centered state of care, love, and compassion. A more coherent electromagnetic environment will it generate, which can help. Important. This coherent electromagnetic environment can help create socio-political harmony and understanding at local, national, and global levels and help offset the current worldwide chaotic and incoherent situation prevailing throughout in most of the countries, rather in most of the regions. This way, the cardio electromagnetic communication, mind the words, cardio electromagnetic communication may be used as a powerful tool in the shape of collective prayers to cure prevailing socio-political evils which have made human life extremely unsafe, stressful, and unbearable. So, dear friends, the chemistry of cardio electromagnetic communication is, in fact, the spirit behind the institutions of mosque, pilgrimage of Kaaba, and congregational prayers. I have mentioned Quranic references. Please do study them. These institutions create exponentially effect on the magnetic force of the hearts of the participating members. Same philosophy lies behind the spiritual practices, fasting, and sharing of wealth, love, care, and compassion with needy members of the community. These Islamic institutions aim to groom the Muslims, to train the Muslims in the belief in oneness of Allah, and His sovereign authority over all the affairs of the universe and the man, and collective well-being of the humanity. Just imagine, very, very important. Imagine the Hajj gathering of millions of the Muslims at Arafat, coming from all corners of the world, wearing two ordinary sheets of white cloth to merge the distinction of affluence, color, caste, language, and nationality, uttering uniformly the same words, Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, Labbaik Allahumma Labbaik, with their hearts devoted to the oneness of Allah and praying for the well-being of the humanity. This is the one unparalleled, unmatched example of global coherence. Also imagine again the words of Azan, azan, whereby the Muslims are called for prayer and well-being together. Prayer and well-being together, hayya ala salah, which means hurry up for prayer, which means hurry up for prayer. Then hayya alal falah, hayya alal falah, hurry up for well-being. So both things, prayer and well-being. Subhanallah. Recall the words, another phenomena. Recall the words the Muslims utter on the conclusion of their prayers. Very few people focus on this point. Now focus it. Recall the words the Muslims utter on the conclusion of their prayers. They look on their right, they look on their right on their shoulder and say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. They send peace and call for blessing of God for all present on their right. Then they look on their left and say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. They send peace and call for blessing of God for all present on their left. All present. What is all present? All present include the whole mankind without distinction of religion, culture, status or color. Rather, it includes all the other creatures of Allah as well. Imagine universality of the objective of Ibadaat. The Muslims of a local community sit together 5 times a day for the single divine cause, collective prayer, and sharing of common concerns. This is the most concentrated coherence possible in a society. Likewise, the institutions of zakat and charity play a very effective role in promoting socio-economic equilibrium conducive for a cohesive society. Imagine your religion. Imagine the great religion of Islam. So, dear friends, unity of the Muslims have been declared religious obligation in the Quran. Listen again. Unity of the Muslims have been declared religious obligation in the Quran. Ayat 103 of Surah Al-Imran very precisely, beautifully describes great recipe for the unity of Muslims in the words. Listen. And hold firmly to the rope of Allah. What is rope of Allah? Al-Quran. All together, jointly, in assembly, and do not become divided. And remember the favor of Allah upon you when you were enemies, and He brought your hearts together, and you became by His favor brothers. And you were on the edge of a pit of the fire, and He saved you from it. Thus, does Allah make clear to you His verses that you may be guided. Then further in ayat 105 of the same surah, Al-Imran, Muslims have been warned Muslims have been warned of serious consequences of defying the above commandment. This ayat says, "And do not be like the ones who became divided and differed after the clear proofs had come to them, and those will have a great punishment." It is about the previous communities, previous nations. The Muslim community is experiencing, focus on these historic facts. The Muslim community is experiencing grave self-destruction in the world today as a consequence of internal disunity caused by the sectarianism. I repeat, the Muslim community is experiencing grave self-destruction in the world today as a consequence of internal disunity caused by the sectarianism, by the sects. It is simply for the reason that we have ignored the Qur'anic direction given in ayat 103 and 105 of Surah Al Imran, that the Quran must be given, precedence as an authentic source of guidance from Allah over all other sources. Mind it. One important purpose of this unity is described in ayat 104 of Surah Al Imran in the words, "And let there be arising from you a group, inviting to good, enjoining what is right and forbidding what is wrong, and those will be the successful." Thus, the unity of Muslims is not aimed for some socio-political or religious gains. Rather, it is a universal approach to promote good and discourage evil, to establish a coherent and peaceful society without any distinction of religion, culture, or geography. My dear friends, the unity of the Muslims, mind my words. My words are reflected the message of Quran. The unity of the Muslims must lead to unity of the mankind. The Quran has emphasized for unity at global level on the ground, on the basis that the mankind is one community created by one Allah, from a single soul and guided by a unified divine message. Kindly consult the Quranic references mentioned on the screen. Thus, there is no rationale. Focus on these points. Thus, there is no rationale for the differences on the matters of truth revealed by the Quran. All the divine religions have common root, as the Quran reveals in ayat 67 and 84 of Surah Al Imran shown on the screen. All the religions, especially the Abrahamic religions, have faith in the oneness of Allah, same ways of life, traditions, and the necessity of common good for the humanity, as revealed in ayat 43 of Surah Fussilat and ayat 13 of Surah Ash-Shura shown on the screen. Despite so many commonalities, despite so many commonalities, why the humanity is so much divided? What are the reasons? The Quran has ascribed these divisions to egos, self-interests, rivalries, and negative emotions like hatred and jealousy of the peoples against one another, as revealed in Ayat 213 of Surah Baqarah and Ayat 14 of Surah Ash-Shura. This Quranic findings has a historic legacy, historic record. It was a reality in the past and a reality today as well. Therefore, the pronouncements, mind it, therefore, the pronouncements like clash of civilizations or conflicts of culture are mischievous cover-up to the devilish designs for seeking the vested interests against the efforts for a coherent and peaceful world. No religion, I repeat, no religion in its true substance, in its reality, in its true substance, induces socio-economic exploitations, oppression, disorder, or bloodshed. No religion in its true substance induces socio-economic exploitations, oppression, disorder, or bloodshed. The Abrahamic tradition or Islam, passing through Judaism and Christianity, reached to its finality with the arrival of Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Quran, which is all about the faith in the oneness of Allah and inevitability of the day of judgment and well-being of the humanity. With this finality, with the finality of the Abrahamic religion, with the arrival of Quran and Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Islam found global outreach for all the ages and for all the regions of the world. That is why, as Allah is Lord of the worlds, Allah is Lord of the worlds, Rabbul Alameen. Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is blessing for the worlds, Rahmatul lil Alameen. Here, worlds mean all the geographic regions and all the ages, past, present, and future. Accomplishment of this goal lies in the unity of the mankind, not in the conflicts, clashes, or divisions. Thus, the spirit of Islam or Abrahamic tradition lies in the unity of the mankind for higher standards of faithfulness, justice, peace, collective well-being. In the modern jargon, it is the global coherence. It is the global coherence. So, my dear friends, we conclude our discussion here. These programs are recorded both in Urdu and English. Their videos can be watched on ideafoundation.com.pk website or its YouTube channel and Facebook. Their written versions are also available on the Idea Foundation's website. Please note code number of this program, Idea 1B or 21 or lecture number 119. All friends are requested to subscribe the Foundation's YouTube web channel for the benefit of the noble cause. Thank you, friends, for participation. Allah Hafiz.